did you know where it is that your levels of patience are most tested? It's when you travel. That is when you see the real character of yourself and the character of people. You know, I just flew into New York with JFK. One of the things that struck me is how many people are in the quest of getting into the US of A. And we took time in immigration, almost 2 hours. And I was just observing how people were behaving, mostly very patient. But I found that one of the things that I struggled with, having come from Dubai, where the wait time was a fraction of this time, is I came in with the same expectations. And I was reflecting about how I've prayed about this journey and how many people on that queue struggle and pray to get their visa. And then you get to the airport and you start grumbling when you start forgetting that you're actually living an answered prayer because of the circumstances around you. And so it's got me asking myself, when is my patience most tested? And how can I choose to bring up my next best self, even when the circumstances are nowhere near what you expected? So I remember standing on the queue and trying to figure out, I have a book target, I'm trying to read 100 books this year. And I was like, okay, they've even have the courtesy to tell us how long it's gonna take. 50 minutes, took longer. And I was like, okay, 50 minutes, what can I do? I can listen to an audiobook. I can reflect on how my journey has been. It was a 17-hour journey. So I was exhausted. And I was like, I'm beginning to interiorly grumble a little bit. And I was like, Pat, take your own advice, Try and just calm down and be patient about this. It wasn't easy. And I know many times some of the things I may say sound easy, but they're not easy. But the goal is to keep trying to raise your personal standard of excellence wherever you are. So anyway, ultimately, as I kept moving, inching along, finally you get to the counter, and the gentleman who was serving me was so gracious. He's like, so what are you here for? I said, I'm here for a conference. He said, welcome. I mean, it took 30 seconds at that counter. And this is the point, that sometimes your success requires a lot of effort behind the scenes. And where you're trying to go, you may not see where you're going sometimes because of how tough the circumstances are. But it also taught me another lesson about values, which I'm going to talk about in the next video. So today, which circumstances in your life are forcing me to learn to be patient, to learn to wait, to learn to make the most use of your time at the waiting stage, whatever that stage looks like? I hope that you will choose to use your waiting time as an opportunity to grow on the inside, to grow a specific habit that when the next big hurdle comes, you will be like, bring it on, because you've done some practice behind the scenes. Well, I look forward to hearing from you. Tell me what it is that you may be struggling with from a patience perspective. Remember, patience is not about waiting. It's about how you wait when you're forced to wait. Nikki.